I myself will give a quick intro about you. So Firaz comes from ESCO space. As the name indicates, they are one of the smart ESCOs. And Khalifa comes from the product technology side. This is going to be more around sustainability aspect. Um, so I'd like to hear Firaz, like if you take ESCO retrofit projects, the common one are retrofitting, going and changing equipment, which most people know. Can you specifically say about how you are leveraging technology to save more than what that can be typically done in a traditional way?
Okay. Well, first of all, because we come from a technology background as a company, we've started as system integrators for building automation systems. We know and we believe how much technology is important on any aspect or on any market segment, market domain you would put. So when we found the opportunity on the ESCO market, the whole idea was actually to do a change. People are used on the normal just device change equipment, quick wins, let's say through BMS, go and just change a set point, do XYZ. The whole idea and the game changer is actually with technology where you can sustain the savings that you get and improve them dramatically once you connect to the equipment and start talking to the equipment. Uh, we believe that buildings are like human beings, they breathe, they change over the day. If you actually look at any typical building and want to see the electromechanical equipment in it, HVAC specific, let's say, with the weather conditions, with the occupancy, it's unbelievable. I don't want to be, say every 15 minutes, but let's say every 1 hour, it's different. The sun is moving, the weather conditions are changing, the occupancy is moving. So actually, your building, if the building doesn't react in a manner where it understands through sensors that are right sensors put in place, HVAC equipment that are talking to these sensors and control systems, you will not be able to really capture the opportunity which is available today. We're still talking about 20, maybe 30% savings. We believe we can get 50% savings. If you do this whole continuous improvement, today we leverage, we put technology, we talk to machines the right way, then we start collecting the data, we react immediately on the equipment, and after we react, we also look at the actions that we've taken and we see how did the system's response to the actions that we've done, and we keep fine-tuning that over time. This is where this becomes a continuous improvement process that's never ending. And without technology, you're not going to be able to do that. So imagine today you have people, regardless how technical they are, how capable they are, they're going to never be able to quickly, rapidly, 24/7 be looking at the equipment, putting their experience in place, try to make this process short. Technology today, the amount of sensors, big data, analysis, AI makes this maybe a 6 months to a 1 year period. And again, it's never ending in terms of improvement, because you'll be surprised, and we have cases where we've seen that, opportunities that you've never thought of, just by looking at the data, you can really capture. So it's not only about how experienced you are, the person looking at the data, it's also about opportunities that are hidden that you can never find them or you can never see them if you don't leverage technology.
Okay. So in short, what I heard that is interesting is there is a scope to have up to additional 20% by using tech than the regular traditional ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Khalifa, like, can you add your from a tech
Actually,
point?
I have good news because we are at the end of the day, and actually everything I ever knew about facility management and products have been said, so I won't repeat that. So the only thing that I will add to the fact is that in most of the building, as we've seen, I liked, like when I heard a while ago that we are looking at BMS and we're claiming BMS here and there, and in the end it's HVAC system. Yes, HVAC consume around 50 to 70% of a building, but still that's not enough, because if you are monitoring the other parts of the building, you can calibrate the HVAC system to perform better, as we saw a while ago. Another thing also is we've been hearing some of the very valid complaint a while ago about facility management in real life, aside from theory. And if you look at those aspects, you'll find that those come from two places. It's from the source of data collected, and at the end, what do you do on the top of the layer? Like 4,000 alarms. So actually, there is something wrong with the interface. There is something wrong with the logic about that. See, you want to say something?
Yeah, just the problem that you're facing about the data. So when you're seeing all those calls and problem, so the main problem is people, operators working behind the screen, they don't know how to fix those calls. This is the problem, is training.
But that's the problem, not really with this person. It's the problem who set the rule to hire this one guy to do job of 3 experts. So that's the design issue. Yes, but it's before training. It's even design issue because you did not design to have the proper kind of engineers to be hired at the right pay salary, at the right working hour, the right shifts. So it's not about systems. We are way advanced in terms of systems without, regardless who's the vendor. Our problem is again about design and about hiding the design facility management expert from the design stage because of cost. And the problem is again lies in the lens, seeing the project cost and the all these are the real problems that we need to solve, and because I think technology we are advanced. Another part which I want to bring also, like we tend to have systems that are responsible to control. Another system is to monitor energy. Another system is to report the report energy, and that's where the protocol conflicts come. That's a lot of hassles comes that makes us lose the opportunity of the benefits that we get. That's where when we came into the market and started thinking how we can produce a product to reduce these kinds of getting 4, 5, 7 vendors to do one job. So we produced a product by ourselves where it can do the control version, getting the feedback of what I'm controlling, monitoring in real time current and voltage per channel of whatever source you are controlling. At the same time, making on the hardware intelligence AI built in on a hardware level to enable you to choose which of these data that I'm monitoring at the moment I will report to be stored, because also too much data storage is cost. Okay, and not only cost in terms of storage, cost in the bandwidth of communication in this building. You'll be surprised there are things doesn't work or not been reported properly because there's a bottleneck on data communication. Because when you have multiple systems, each one is just reporting, and some central device somewhere, magic device that have processed all this and choose. And trust me, in real life, there's bottlenecks. So that's another thing we have done on the product. So all this in like milliseconds of energy fluctuation real time, it's not been reported to anyone unless if there's a threshold met on that local chip that will allow it to communicate clean report that's worth storing. And also that's the third layer that we do in our products, and then we came to another product, a layer on that also is to react. Sometimes like the operator or the guy stuck in the elevator or some of those dangerous stuff, the pop-up came on. My product will wait for an action. If the action is not taken due to lack of connectivity, the operator on the system is sleeping, or someone is not even there, our product will do let's say not 100% corrective measure, but we'll try to do a mini corrective measure on its own when there is no one interfering. And all this happening on chip, on the device itself, on the product without even communicating with something else.
Is it open?
No, it's our proprietary protocol, open for integration. Don't get me trapped, don't worry. Okay, actually it is open now by being on the Niagara platform. I can say we are open. Okay, and but adding, but that covers one part which we are all aware about is the wired infrastructure. But what we see in the market now, people are retrofitting, right? But in the retrofit, what do we see? We see all these things that coming in the market: $100, $50, $200 kind of kits, where at the end the maximum can be controlled by Alexa and Amazon Alexa or a Google Assistant, whatever. And people consider that's AI. I'm sorry, that has nothing to do with AI. So there is a gap between the wired system, the BMS we know today, and there is a gap between the existing wired products. So that's where we came and produced a new product in the middle, where actually it is wireless, but it takes all the consideration of real-time energy monitoring on the product, processing of knowledge and everything on that. So that's the product that is wireless, but it's designed to fit into Niagara, into Facilio, into all these kind of systems to provide you facility management services, not just, hi, what time is it, what's the current status of my door, or whatever. So it's a bit another layer.
Yeah. Yeah, to summarize, what you say is you have a tech which is hardware driven, which has a lot more intelligence on the edge,
On the edge itself, exactly.
and which is open so that it can integrate with the upper
Of
level
course,
system.
definitely.
So coming to that, see, the energy saving, traditionally it has been like once in 6 months, once in a year audit kind of mechanism, where somebody audits and then gives a report like you can save in these things. And by the time somebody picks it up and acts on it, it is
It's
already
obsolete.
few weeks. And like the earlier panel, like how do you tightly integrate with the facilities management workflow so that whatever that needs to be done to save energy, the sooner it gets done. So in terms of minutes, if it is getting acted, it is more saving. So in your projects, Firaz, like how do you do like do in some projects I understand like you yourself go and make those changes with your technician, and there are projects where you may have to rely on the customer's FM team to go and do that. Is tech helping you here to bridge the gap? Um,
Yes, actually, our approach as a company, we have a slogan. We call it intelligent efficiency at work, and we mean by intelligent efficiency at work is that we combine ICT, information communication technology, with energy efficiency, which is today IoT for energy or for energy efficiency. And the whole idea is that we want to be proactive. Real time or near real time is very important. Today, again, just talking about the BMS. BMS is a plant room system meant for technicians. It was never ever communicated in any way to the higher management or to the boardroom. This is why the BMS, there's a big gap today with what we have in the plant room and what we want to see as C-level. This is why we, on the higher level, there's no decision making that's really important towards the facility to make it or to get the buy-in of the higher management to get funds or anything that you want on the plant room. Today, it's about having alarms that are energy related. I don't want and I don't care to see 4,000 alarms that are a filter is dirty. I don't I don't care if a filter is dirty alone as a message. It doesn't mean anything. I want to know since how long the filter is dirty, what's the differential pressure, to raise an active alarm that's telling me you have started to lose energy now. This is the type of alarm that technology can provide that today the BMS system that's sitting in the plant room as a software can't provide. Whether it's open or not, we're going to be talking about that a bit later. But the idea today is that we're leveraging on technology as a company to set alarms that are not normal traditional BMS alarms, where these alarms will really only tell me what I should be caring about to change and what is important. And also, we want to do a filter, and this is now one of the things we're working on, is even the alarms, once you see them as an operator, is they're related to dollar sign or related to really importance. It's not about me dragging and looking or the technician looking at the important alarms. I don't care about the non-important alarms. I want him to go below. I want to see like the best or the most important 5 alarms every day. If I if I just look at these and I just deal with these, that's enough. Even if I have 1,000 alarm, I want to see the most important things, and technology today will help us with machine learning to be able to do that and to put all these types of coding algorithms that can simplify the life of the operators and help them to take decisions and be proactive in terms of alarming and in terms of managing the facilities.
so what this shows is, in spite of other limitations, it is possible to get somehow data from existing systems and then have a centralized management. So that's what you've done, right?
Yes, correct. And the idea is, again, with the word like centralized is one thing, and communication, getting information from this centralized place is another thing. I just want to highlight one thing, which is like buildings. We know they started as BMS systems. They were like before 30 years pneumatic controls. Then we started getting electronic controls. We were still in the BMS. Then we started getting smart buildings, and actually the word smart building was only meant IBMS. So we were integrating systems together. We still haven't used the data. There's still a huge database there. Even again with integration, you see good screens, intuitive, whatever you think it's informative. It is informative to a level, but actually the huge amount of data was always there on the database and nobody was touching it. Two reasons. One of them, actually, it's not open. So even on the discussion that happened before, I just wanted to comment that openness is actually from my side means you can access the data, and it's not only you, anyone can access the data in a unified format. So this is known. I don't have to integrate or to be an expert in integration to say that this system is open or not. Even today, BACnet, before that there was LOAN, and even Modbus. These are open protocols. You can communicate and pull the data. But once this data is in the database, can you get any data scientist to write a query and get this data out? This is a challenge today which we don't have on this higher level. So this openness and this communication is very important to open the next level that we're talking about.
Okay. So Khalifa, like from your perspective, when you sell your products, how often you see that one customer is expecting you to integrate with some sort of facility management layer, or are you propagating it as part of your sales process?
See, honestly, we do pitch it because at the end of the day, we are not a facility management platform. With the good thing that we do, we are expert in collecting meaningful data, and more than the traditional control system in the market. And our job is to integrate it to their facility management. And of course, there is always the need by the project to integrate with a lot of other systems, because as we all know, we probably will do everything in terms of lighting, HVAC, and so on, but there are still always gate barriers, access controls, cameras, detection of some hazardous things happening in this building. Those things, of course, not our experts, so we do integrate. So and the beauty of that and why we are in peace, because we do that through the Niagara platform, and that helps us to take it to whatever upper level facility management issue. One more thing I wanted to add here, which is a bit interesting. My brother said, why these numbers and decisions or whatever is happening is only in the plant room and not going to the boardroom or going to the upper level. I have a simple answer. Because we as engineers in this room are criminals. Do you know why? Because if any one of you walk into that screen and look how disgusting and ugly is the interface, and how many layers of access and browsing is required for someone to even see something that make any sense, I won't be surprised why the boardroom won't be looking at it. We need artists in this field, not engineers. I mean, we engineers are okay, we did our job, but it's time to open it up to artists, scientists who know how to present useful information. We are in 2019 and everything now at our mobile. Sometime I don't remember when I used my laptop actually. Everything on the mobile. When I think, oh my God, I have to do it on the laptop, I kind of think, why I still need to do it on the laptop? Something is wrong, either on the company platform or my work. So it is all on the mobile. So imagine now if I'm a director coming and I see my 5 most important aspects of my system showing me that I'm expected to lose this much and my current repair is X amount of dollar or dirham, and then if I don't act for the next 12 weeks, expected this to increase by 10%. These are the data that will make me jump because I understand it. But if I see some flags red and something rotating and things, I won't act. I won't act because simply that's not my line of expertise as a senior guy. But the moment I know, pay now, this is the problem. If you don't pay, this is the consequences, in a nice pop-up summary of the week, summary of the month, I think. Yeah, I know. But that's the point. What I'm saying, other people who are complaining might need to use Niagara.
Yeah. I can see Tony saying that they
Tony
already
paid me before I came in already. No, this is off the record. Just kidding, by the way.
Next question is again, this is another common thing we have been talking about. So when you go and look at one single building on energy efficiency, and then you go and look at 50 buildings together on energy saving, I'm sure there is multifold difference there. So your inputs on like, have you transitioned from looking at each building separately into portfolio wide common systems, right in form of insight from one building applying into other building, or sharing resources, your own resources into multiple buildings, so that you can save more for your end customers? Can you share some?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very important point for us, and it all actually came from the project we were engaged with Wassel, and because we were thinking of how can we be creative in managing this huge amount of buildings. Tomorrow, if I'm going to put 100, 115 buildings on a platform, what can I use other than that I have the data in terms of energy? And actually, one of the things that we've built our solution architecture that we presented based on is we can reduce our maintenance costs, whether on mobility, people moving, coming in and out from buildings, whether trying to duplicate or understand if I have a problem in this building, really, would I get the same problem in the other building or not? And this is where leveraging again technology for multi-size, multi-buildings that might be typical or similar, let's say at least the residential buildings that would have similar type of a profile or behavior. This is where you're going to start learning from each building what you get and try to be proactive on the other buildings. And again, mobility. So people are moving. Why to move from a place to another place, which is 20, 30 kilometers away, just to, because you have an alarm and you still have to go and investigate to understand what is the root cause and what is required. And then you find out that there's a tool that you've missed because you didn't have enough information and you only knew what extra you needed once you went to site. Today, once you're connecting remotely, you have all this information, you can analyze again and see what would be the root cause of the problem. And once you go and do the maintenance, you do it effectively. And you do it with less time, of course, less resources, less tools, and all of that.
Yeah, can you share your
I was absent in this
portfolio wide?
class. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, guys, I will add to this from another angle. What happens when you connect multiple buildings from our aspect? Because we have an MOU signed actually with DIWA to try and provide control as a service, okay, and allow DIWA to look at buildings from a different aspect. Because to put you in the picture, if I will simply simplify the market, it's non-buildings entities like homes, apartments, private offices, and so on, and then BMS kind of facility managed buildings, which is whatever we know. And there are other, I'm talking from a DIWA perspective now, and there are big plants that DIWA have their own agreements with them that consume a lot of energy and so on. Currently, DIWA, when they have problems with their supply, they are capable to turn or moderate those plants and have no access to either the building which you guys are managing, neither have, but at least with those buildings, there's a possibility. Why? Because there is BMS, there are some advanced system building information, whatever you're gonna call it, they can maybe do something and connect and tap into it. But then there is 40+% of Dubai. It's those private parts that cannot be tapped for two reasons. First, ownership issue. Second, it's actually not connected. And it's not a new build, it's brownfield already. So that's where we are trying to provide a solution for that part which is unmanaged, bringing them all to be on the platform for DIWA to be able to connect to and be able to do demand response, shaving the peak kind of procedures, not only know that, because now DIWA have the readings of their the digital metering and they are expanding, but they have no any saying on what to do. Because when I know about one building, I can benefit the owner of the building. I know 5, 6, like Wassel, I can help Wassel as owning multiple buildings. But when I know thousands of buildings, then someone like a country can benefit. And it's all rotate and come back. Because sometimes it's not about money. It's about, is it possible to do it in that time frame? So better turning unimportant loads in those projects. For example, like a water fountain lighting, like the water fountain itself in the peak in summer, if it's off for 2 hours, and in all the buildings, no more those recreational things just for 1 hour, to DIWA, that's a big dollar sign, and to the environment as well. So with these kind of things that we do, we enable you to also allow DIWA to send a smart grid message to turn those optional loads throughout the city. Okay. And that's the kind of things that can help when you get multiple buildings together.
So what both of you agree that when you look at larger portfolio, there is multifold value. Yeah. So last two questions, rapid fire, 10-second answers. One is, do you see that taking the whole ESCO, whatever you do, the work that is being done, closer to end customers, either it is home users, building occupants, or building owners, being more transparent, gamifications and all those stuff, will it impact, or will it impact in the sense of saving more and also getting more ESCO project, making more customers to come and approach ESCOs and yes, I want savings. Like the awareness among the general audience, how do you think it will impact? Very short.
Yes, first of all, awareness is the first point of actually doing a change. So if someone is not aware, if he doesn't have information in front of him that tells him you're consuming X, Y, or Z, and you could be consuming less, which is very important on the whole benchmarking thing, then people will not take action. On any aspect, if you come and tell me about anything I've done and you compare it with someone else, I'll immediately start listening to you. So the benchmark is important. I want to see I was better, I was worse. So if we can do this information, put it on higher levels where we can say tomorrow, this building has saved X, Y, Z, and these are the actions that they've done, and these are the numbers, and we're able to present that in intuitive dashboards, then for sure people that are seeing it, especially non-technical people, will start changing their behavior, because it all starts again with awareness. Today, awareness is not only about just getting an SMS about something, you might read it or not. If I can be able to log on real time, if I can see a dashboard, if I can really see things that are moving, how things were before, how they're after, and start like playing, touching this in my hand, maybe also predicting it, which is also what we're talking about today in terms of technology. I want to predict, so I want to just play around with the system. I want to say, if I change the set point for the next 24 hours, reduce it from 24 to 22, and know that I'll be spending this extra amount and the lifetime of my equipment will increase by this amount, then I'm aware next time when I want to change the set point. So yeah, I'm 100% agree with that.
Khalifa, do you have artists creating such voice?
See, next time the answer start here, because he says everything I want to say, and then if I say, I become copying him. Not fair.
Sorry,
The last
sorry.
question starts here. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I agree with him completely. And the only thing that I would want to bring here, it's all about the behavior pattern. The pattern can only change if I understood how my previous pattern impacted me, as he said. Actually, I told you, he said everything. I'm trying to just change the words. Okay? And then by just knowing this, it's a powerful tool. I don't know how it will act, positive or negative, but this is the right we have to give the end users to be part of all this.
Okay. So next question is only for Firas. Last question. Okay. So yeah, the Wasl team said that if you save more than 14.8 million, they could share some money for you. So yeah. So in your tech roadmap, what are the secret sauce you have? Where what is that you are envisioning working to save more using tech, like things like continuous commissioning?
Yeah. Again, we have a target as per the contract. I don't want to say we were conservative when we set the target. It was realistic, because also if we were conservative, we maybe would have lost the job. So I haven't answered yet. I'm just putting the introduction. So the whole idea is that we weren't conservative. At the same time, we didn't push for more savings just to take the job. Having said, no, no problem, no problem. But but having said that, because of technology and our contract with our customer is for 5 years after we finish the job, we know that we will be saving more. If you're going to tell me how today, I'm going to tell you, let the data come and I will do that. All I'm saying is that I'm 100% confident. This is a belief. As a company, we believe, again, because we can intelligently monitor and continuously commission the systems, we will find opportunities. And this is never ending. I don't want to say we can promise. I can say after 5 years, minimum, we might be looking at another 5% savings. That's minimum, just by looking at the data.
Okay. Thank you. So just to summarize, the key points here is one, using tech to save energy every day from a real time, that is giving you a lot of leverage. And second one is making things aware with a nicer, easy to the boardroom to the BMS room to boardroom aspect, and getting closer, getting the data transparent to customer is also helping create awareness so that you are able to get more projects. And the third part is you do have a strong roadmap on bringing in more energy saving measures that are tech driven. Okay, so thank you, thanks Firas, and thanks
Thank
Khalifa.
you. Thank you, everybody.